I'm David Joyce, and this is my Honda Element. All right, so I'm David Joyce. I'm 21 years old. We're in the Grand Tetons National Park in Wyoming. This is my 2003 Honda Element. It's an EX. It is four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, whatever. It's an automatic transmission. And at this moment, it has about 427,000 miles. This was my first ever car. I actually hated it when I first got it. It wasn't that I really hated it, it just wasn't my dream car by any means. Since then, I've had 16 Honda Elements, and I love them more than ever. There's no amount of money that could convince me to sell mine. This car looked completely different when I first got it, and over the course of the last 8 or so years, I have transformed this car through several different phases, and now we have kind of landed on this. All right, so starting with the front of the car, we've got a couple different things going on here. The entire outside of the car has been actually Raptor lined with, Raptor liner. It's like a bed liner for beds of trucks, but we went with Raptor liner. We use an air spray, like a compressor instead of not the aerosol can. But the compressor does really good. We've Raptor lined the entire car. Just the other day, somebody actually backed into the front of my car, and luckily there was no damage. And I believe the Raptor liner was to thank for that. Moving on, we have an AVS bug shield. We have Concept 12 headlights. These are the H700s, I believe. Concept 12 is a guy named Oliver. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia. He makes these custom headlights for Honda Elements, and I cannot recommend them enough. I absolutely love mine. I love the way they look with the halos on. I have had them for a year or two now, I think, and I pretty much run them nonstop every day, all day long, wherever I go, and they still have not burnt out. Down below, we have Diodynamics fog lights. They have a attachable amber lens, which is what I have on them right now, but you can actually take that off and have clear white LEDs if you would like that look. I have my OEM bumpy bumper, and I also have a 2007/2008 grill. Now, 2003 Elements all the way to 2006 came with a honeycomb grill. Moving on to the quarter panel, we have our OG from way back in the day. They're not OEM, but they were made by the original maker of the clear corner lights. These are in incredible condition. We're running MST Time Attack wheels with Falcon Wild Peak 235/70/16s. I love Falcon Wild Peaks, and I love MST Time Attacks. Before this, I had DX steel wheels. Of course, this car originally came with the factory alloys, but then I put steel wheels on. The steel wheels I ran for years. I loved the look of them, but they were just super heavy. These are the only wheels that I really like the look of on my particular Element, and they're lightweight. Oh, and they actually allow me to put on the TSX brakes on the front as well. So new calipers, rotors, pads, all that stuff, and that makes a huge difference. As far as the tires go, the Falcon Wild Peaks have been fantastic. They last a ton of miles, and I've never had any issues with traction. They do great in the rain. They're not loud, which, if you're familiar with all-terrain tires can get noisy very, very quickly. Falcon Wild Peaks, they really just don't, and that's why I love them. All right, so moving on to the A-pillar trim of the windshield. I actually have this bolted in using some riv nuts and some bolts. This allows me to not ever have to worry about having to replace it if it flies off in the wind, but actually I've completely eliminated all the clips underneath, and so it's only held in by the bolts. So what that means is I can actually take the bolts off, pop this piece out, and I have a bunch of wires running up to my roof rack. And so it allows me to be able to replace my windshield a little bit easier, fix wires, run new wires. It just makes that whole thing so much easier. And I have that on both sides as well. Here we have the Rob Deasy ditch light brackets paired with some Harbor Freight basic fog lights. I need to upgrade them, I just haven't yet. Up here we have another Rob Deasy product, which is his light bar brackets. And then this is a Nightlight 54-inch curved light bar, and it works fantastic. Now moving on to the side, we've got a lot going on over here. Starting up front behind the wheel, we have our factory OEM mud flaps with Rally Armor universal mud flaps that I've cut to fit. I really like them, and it definitely helps with the offset of the MST Time Attack wheels. These are actually lower door moldings here. This is actually a factory rare accessory. These are really hard to find. It broke my heart to paint these, but I had to. I just had to do it. Like the bug deflector up front, we have AVS rain guards, the front and the rear. The cool thing about AVS is that, yes, while it might not be in channel, it does support the rear window that folds out. All right, we've got the massive rooftop tent that we have. This is the BDV Duo from iCamper. You can actually get an entire full-size mattress up there. It's got some pockets. It's got a little spot for power. I would show you guys, but unfortunately I spilt engine oil all over it this morning. So follow me on Instagram and look for a later video there. Then we have our Sanhema awning. This is a 700, not a 720 degree, that wouldn't even work. A 270 degree awning. It goes all the way from the hood, comes all the way out, all the way around the back side of the trunk, and stands on its own with no legs. And now it has legs. It also has lights and everything. I really like it. It actually wasn't that expensive. It was quite affordable, and it's been one of the best things I've done to the outside of my Element. Back again with another Rob DZ product. We have the Rob DZ side ladder. This thing has been fantastic. The only thing that I would say that I would like to have changed, but you really can't change, there's nothing you can do about it, is the fact that the factory stepping points really don't leave a lot of room for your feet. I have big feet, so, you know, it's not a whole lot of room for me to step. So I got these metal steps that I bolted to the door, like from Amazon, and Rafi Zaki actually was my original inspiration for this, but these are just, I think they're called like marine steps or something, but they're fantastic. They're super easy to climb. And then they fold away. Now it is pre-slotted for Rotopacks, so if you wanted to mount a Rotopacks to this, you absolutely could. A Rotopacks mounts directly to this. I didn't. Another Rob DZ product. This is the Rob DZ window Rotopacks mount, which is why I didn't mount a Rotopacks on my door. This is actually only meant to hold one. You can actually see through here there actually are the slots as well. But the one thing that I really wanted to do is have my gas and my water together. I just like the look of that. The way that I did that, and I think that I'll end up swapping these at some point, put the gas on this side and the water on this side. But right now I've got it set up like this. So I had to drill extra holes into this panel to get this is a 3-gallon gasoline Rotopacks. I don't keep gas in there. Don't keep gas in there unless you know that you're gonna need it. Also, don't go somewhere that's like 9,000 feet if you have asthma, because the air's thin. All right, and this is my water Rotopacks. This thing is sweet. It's only 2 gallons, but it's on a Harbor Freight swivel TV mount that I've retrofitted to hold this. And it'll hold the entire weight of 2 gallons of water. And it just makes it easy to be able to swivel it out, keep the water flow away from getting all over the side of your car. You don't have to put the key in and take the whole thing off just to pour a cup of water or something like that if you need to. This is a water pump from my good friends over at Lone Rock Concepts. Huge shout out to my buddy Braden with Camping Element for showing me these guys. This is a rechargeable pump, and then I put actually a super long straw as the faucet. It comes with the smaller one, which works just fine, but I really enjoyed the longer spigot, spout, whatever. So all you have to do is hit the on button and it spills out water. Simple as that. We usually don't put like spigot water in there. We pretty much always are putting potable water. I mean, water is just, it's cheap, and we're lucky that we have access to water, but you know, pretty much, you know, any grocery store, Walmart, Target, you can get a gallon of water for pennies on the dollar, and that only holds 2. So we just get 2 gallons of like distilled water, put it in there. If we need to drink out of it, we can. We can also wash dishes, cook with it, etc. So I actually also installed these lights that are up here. They are just like some super basic work lights that I installed. But they're good for like Honda Element events and escorts, other car events. They're good for crazy storms where you just feel like you need to be seen a little bit better. And they also they have different like interchangeable modes. So I think there's like 15 different flash patterns, and one of them is steady on all the time. That one's pretty cool too. It's good for rolling through a campsite and trying to have some ambient light while you set up at nighttime. Now, as far as the rest of the back goes, the number one question that I always get asked about the back side of this car, believe it or not, is my ladder. And this ladder, is probably the only thing cosmetic on this car that I don't use. This ladder is sweet. It's by Aerogenics. They come in a raw aluminum look or finish, or, well, it's not a finish because it's raw, but yeah, you have to powder coat it or paint it if you want it to be black or a specific color. So this one was powder coated black. It is cool because the original ladder that I had on this was the Gobi ladder. Now, I love the Gobi ladder. I personally like the way that the Gobi ladder sits a little bit further out, which it's able to do because this one actually folds down. So it comes all the way down. It's sweet. It's got these little pins that hold it together when it's folded up. The Gobi ladder doesn't do that, so it's able to continue to come all the way out this far, but it only has 3 steps total and it doesn't fold out. So I kind of like the way that it feels to climb the Gobi ladder, but I do like that this is a full-length ladder if we need it. Down to the nitty-gritty, I've got the SC taillights. They're factory smoked. They're just a little bit darker. I think they complement the black look on my car well. I have the dog-friendly badge on the back. This is my full-size spare tire. Same thing, MST Time Attack, Wild Peaks. And this is the Wilco Off-Road Hitchgate Solo, I believe it is, that I've added a couple attachments to. So this is an attachment. You can see the slots here. I'm sure you can guess it's for Rotopacks. However, I only had to buy this so that I can mount this front runner table to it. Now, I love this front runner table. I wish that the cutting board was different because the cutting board after a couple months swells from moisture and it will not slide in and out anymore. But at one point it did, but it does fold down. It's a great spot to cook, work, whatever you need to do. And in theory, the cutting board would slide out here, in theory. Now on this trip, we had a mild rear end collision. So I actually had to essentially rebuild the back end of my car. So we have a 2011 rear bumper cover with the little reflectors that came off of a poor, totaled, super rusty Omni Blue out of New York. Carrying with the theme of the Raptor liner here. And then we've got some chase lights that are way too bright. They're good for backing up. But that's pretty much it on this side. We've got the Rally Armor mud flaps again, and then this is my shore power hookup, great for campsites or wherever you are that you have access to power. You can just plug in the car and it plugs in my interior batteries. Now this is the ladder for the rooftop tent if we have the awning out. So when we have the awning out, we can't use that Rob Deasy ladder. We have to use this ladder. That's the only caveat. Can't even use the rear ladder because that awning comes all the way around to the backside. So even though this car is equipped with 2 ladders, we can't even use them when the awning's out. So we carry this ladder around and it works pretty good. That's pretty much it for this side of the car. We have a counterproductive rear Rotopacks mount here. I have so many Rotopacks mounts all over my car, and I already have the 2 tanks that I want to carry, which is my gas and my water. So I decided not to mount one here, but I do like the way that it looks. And maybe eventually I'll mount something there like a diesel heater or a box or something along those lines. But for now, it's empty. This wire right here goes up to my solar panel, and my solar panel is a 720 watt solar panel. So really all you need there. So this is the interior. It's been through several different variations, and this is kind of its final form. So I think pretty much my ideal setup, and I'm pretty stoked to have it the way that I have it. So right now I've got pretty much every Fifth Element camping component in this vehicle. We've got both of the side cabinets and the bench. The bench we've modified a little bit specifically for this trip. That way we can maximize our storage capacity underneath it. It's where we keep our clothes, and it's been super helpful. But the cool part about it is that it also doubles as a bed if we need to sleep on the inside of our car. We're able to do so comfortably. The driver's side Fifth Element camping cabinet is pretty cool because it is a desk. We have all of our food in here, and then we've got miscellaneous items like spices and whatever else in the top one. We've got valve cover gaskets in the bottom right cubby and dog stuff in the bottom left. In the passenger side, in the top one, we have dishes, element cups, different kind of reusable containers, dog safety first aid kit. We've also got a cubby for our toiletries, which I believe this one also doubles as well. So we've got kind of toiletries on both sides here. Down here we've got some bungees kind of holding on to some of the stuff that we access more frequently, like her harness and the dog collapsible bowls, which is nice. I also have here in the back, you can't really see it right now because it's buried between my camera bag, but I also have the Fifth Element Camping mid-door panel, which I'll show you later. Moving past the Fifth Element Camping system, we have our dog food container. This we filled up right before we left on our trip. We've been on the road for a little over 2 weeks now and have only used about half of it, so it's worked out pretty good. This is our EcoFlow Glacier refrigerator. It doubles as a refrigerator on one half of it, and then the other half is actually a freezer. So if you wanted to keep frozen meats, ice cream, etc., you could. And it also has an ice maker. It's kind of overkill, it's super big, but it works for our setup, and it's super nice to have all that extra space. This is powered by our EcoFlow Max. I actually have no idea what even model this is, but pretty sure it's the EcoFlow Max. It's a 2,000 watt hour capacity EcoFlow system. It's been great. We charge it, of course, with our solar panel on the roof. And then we also have this Bluetti. What is this? This is the, who knows? One of the Bluettis. It's the 800 watt capacity Bluetti. On the other side of the Fifth Element Camping bench, I have my camera bag. This has all my camera gear and equipment in that. And then below that, I actually have 2 Milwaukee pack-out boxes, and that is where all of my tools go. Now, I will say that we definitely had to clean up the inside of this car for this video because we are on a trip. But when it's fully loaded, it's pretty packed in here. So for example, in this floor space, usually I have my jack, you know, we've got our fan, our ladder for our rooftop tent, camp stove, Rome flame, stuff like that. So, but all things considered, once it's packed in here pretty nice, it's not bad. All right, now moving to the front of the vehicle, we've got a lot going on here, and bear with us because we have been living out of it, so it's a little bit dirty. But on the doors, we have the SC door panels. They're all black. The little armrest here is black. All of this is black. And then we have the upholstery here, which we've reupholstered black. It's very dirty right now, but you get the point. Then we have our seats. These seats are out of a 2008. With this being a 2003 Honda Element, we put in '08 seats, so that way we can have the seat belts built into the seats. Then we've got our dog-friendly floor mat. We've got a Scar subwoofer. We have painted all of our dash. We just used some spray paint. It's held up really well. And then we've got our rare chrome dash kit here. We've got 2009, 10, 11 AC control knobs, super rare OEM leather wrapped shift knob, OEM leather wrapped steering wheel. We've got this head unit. It's CarPlay, Android. If you want to know more about it, check the description. I'll have the model number in there. We've got a phone holder. We did reupholster the entire headliner, so the entire headliner is black. And then other things that we had to do, like the sun visors, those are stained. And then of course all the walls they're actually rafter lined to match all of that. So the entire interior is like full black everything. In fact, actually, this is just so crazy because this car has really changed so much. But even the floors are out of a 2010 Honda Element because they have black floors, and standard, this '03 had gray floors. So literally everything about this car has changed. We have the Fifth Element Camping Center console. It's great, lots of storage, 3 cup holders, which is fantastic. We have our JDI push to start kit. Love the push to start. I've never had any issues with it. I've got like probably put on at least 100,000 miles on that push to start kit at this point, and it hasn't let me down once. Up top, we have our Concept 12 overhead molly panel with a bag, a radio, keys, patches, some other things. But that's pretty much it. There's other things, but you know, it is what it is. So this is our rear passenger door. Of course, we've got a lot going on here. We have our HRG off-road molly panels. I've got HRG off-road molly panels all the way around. If you are curious about where you can get these, you can get them on hrgoffroad.com. If you're looking for a discount, check out the description and I'll help you out there too. I have mounted a fan here. This is super helpful for when we're sleeping inside the car. It just comes on, blows cool air, helps ventilate. and I can still actually open the window and everything, which is nice. I've got some cords here for random other things. This cord in particular goes to the light that is on the awning, and then the cord is run to our battery pack, the EcoFlow up front. Now this unit here is our Fifth Element Camping mid-door panel. This has been one of my favorite mods for sure. It all comes out, folds out, and it's a great place to make coffee. It also comes with this little cubby. We keep all of the tent stakes and straps and everything for our awning here, a lighter, a knife, and when I'm not using it, which I am right now, our little faucet spigot thing goes in there as well. Don't let her boop it. She'll I guess, mud on it. And she did. Fantastic. So this is the driver's side, same thing. I've got the SC door panels, the little cover plates that go with the chrome package. I've got random stuff in my door cubby. I've got just a quick cheapo scan tool for when I'm driving, and if something comes up I can check it. Stickers, Toaster Parts stickers, stickers from our travels, and all of my patches and marshalling ones from my previous job. Up front you can kind of get a little bit better of a view of the painted dash, the steering wheel. I need to put a new seat in. I've had several opportunities to do that, but with this being really a work vehicle and I'm constantly in and out of it, I figured I might as well wait until we get back from our trip. Now, as you've probably noticed, I have a ton of exterior lighting. So I have an aux beam 8-gang switch panel as well that's inside, and that's how I control everything. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. Unfortunately, we were a little bit stretched for time here, so this video was kind of super spur of the moment, and hopefully you were able to get something out of it because we'll have to come back for part 2. Now, in part 2, we will go over the tent. I'll show you the inside. I'll show you how it's wired up. We'll go over the solar panel. We'll also go over all of the performance modifications like the suspension, etc., etc. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. So if you'd like, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. All of it is at Toaster Parts. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye.